Hello everyone, welcome to episode 13. I'm very happy to see you. Hopefully you went through episode 12 where we patched the kit to 4.3. So this was a big patch. It added the multiple save slot system and everything. However, you do need to follow that guide because you need to patch Unity to version 30F1. Otherwise, the new save system will not appear in your Unity project. This is just the way that it is. Just go see episode 12 for a proper guide. So we also we went over the fact that when you patch a game to 4.3, the menu will be broken because it's still stuck in the old one save system. So you need to flash the player prefs. Also follow video 12. In episode 12, I show how to do that. So once you flash player pref, then the patch 4.3 completely works, and the kit is fantastic. So now in this episode today, we're gonna do a couple of things. We're gonna start by creating the underground scene, which is gonna be a cavern. I put the link to the asset in the description below. So it's gonna be this web page for the asset. You can download it for free. If you're nice, you can leave a tip, or you can just say thank you somewhere in the chat here. Otherwise, it's a free asset. This is the one that I'm gonna be using. So yeah, we have to create a base for the cave because we need to fall in a hole, and then we need to fall in the cave. But right now we don't have a hole and we don't have a scene with a cave. So we're gonna start by creating a scene, not fully, but by starting the cave. But first we need to import the assets. So we're not gonna touch the PSD folder. We're just gonna use the big PNG here and the animation folder for a single sprite animation, because there are gems and stuff we can animate. So yeah, gonna go into the sprite folder. We're gonna create a new project, a new folder I mean, and then we're gonna drag the tile sheet in it, and we're gonna import them together, because these ones are a little different than the old ones. These ones are 32 pixels per unit instead of 16, so you need to configure them like I do. Otherwise you will have brush size problems on your grid. So I remind you guys, this is a voiceover, so basically this is a 1 hour almost episode, and there's no way I'm gonna remember word for word what I said. So I'm doing my best to give this information in English and in French. I'm just saying that you have to bear with me that it is how it is. So now that this being said, like I said, we create a folder in the sprite. So I named it, I think, new caverns or caverns. So create a folder. Yeah, caverns. I just named it caverns. I don't name it cave because the demo kit already has a folder named cave. So I just named it caverns, not to not to confuse myself. Once the folder is created, you go inside of it, and then we're gonna do what we need to do to these two bad boys. Same as usual, but there's some details. Like I said, this is a 32 pixel per unit. Those you cannot put in 16. This asset pack from this creator is very high quality compared to previous tile sheets that we use. And I'm not dissing other tile sheets. What I mean by that is, look in the screen on the inspector. There's a section called the Asset Post Processors. So basically the guy knows so much what he's doing that he's like next level asset person that can do assets in a very professional way. This is an entry level point. I'm just gonna tell you guys, look, you can switch, you see the RGB buttons, you can switch configuration of palette colors and stuff with these configurations that he has on them. But this is I'm not gonna make a full use of the extended usage of this is not a painting channel, so we are just going to use normal painting technique. We're not gonna deep dive into the asset post-processing stuff because I don't have much to add to that subject aside than there's a lot of wonderful things, but you need to do your homework to use them properly, and I don't want to make an episode about extracurricular stuff like special tiles. So I'm just showing you that when you get a tile of this quality, when on the website it says 32 by 32, but it's a real 32 by 32, unlike previous tile sheets that says they are 32 but they kind of look like 16. The thing is, they made them in 32 resolution, but they did not use they did not get all they could out of their resolution, so they look like 16 even though they're 32. But whatever, this is a real 32 that looks 32. You need to pixel per unit 32. Just trust me, otherwise your thing will not work. It won't make tiles 16 by 16. It's gonna try to put a 32 tile on top of a 16, so it's gonna be a real mess. So we create a new palette. I named it Caverns. Then I start with the big one because it's just so much bigger than the decorative PNG. So I place the main there. It's gonna take like 18 seconds or so, maybe a minute if you're on a laptop instead of a big PC. Once it's done, we're gonna see the beautiful palette and then we're gonna add the decorative, but we will not add the animation things. Those we will leave as items in a folder because we will animate them in the next episodes. So you look, yes, now that I sliced it properly, my tile sheet is making regular tiles. It's not making a mess like if I had put 16 here. Don't waste your time testing, but if you made the mistake, you will notice like why does it look like that. You will understand, oh, this is why. Then you will re-import it completely in 32, and then it will be better. So now my French counterpart is showing you you can add more than one PNG on the same tile palette if they are 100% compatible. Like these two come from literally the same folder, they come from the same guy, so they are compatible. And then you see everything is behaving normally. So this tile palette is now very fine. We did a good job with it. But now we need to create the folder to put the animations in it because we don't want to mix it gets confusing fast. So I just name it Animations Cavern. Name it like you want. It's just we're gonna put the four the four remaining files that are in the anim folder right there. We need to treat them the same way than the others, sadly, but we will not put them in the palette. We want them as separate items that we can do, just like the door, the black crow, everything that is a single sprite that we rotate the sprite. This is a very easy technique to animate stuff. You know, this is like a perfect entry-level technique to animate. So yeah, I'm gonna slowly but surely do all four of them. But we're not gonna create the animations in this episode. We'll create them when we get to decorate the cavern, you know, because in this episode 13 we will make basically the cavern, but we won't go nuts like making details on the ground and rocks, and all that will be done after we actually place NPCs and stuff in the cavern. So the aesthetic part, guys, the aesthetic part, that putting everything together and like why did you leave an empty space in that room or whatever, this is because we're gonna visit back everything that we made and we're gonna finish it, you know, and we're gonna link everything together. This is that when you make a game in the way that we do now, a small game, you can pretty much make the story as you go, and then you will put it all together, you know. Once everything is placed in the scenes, we can play around literally like toys, like marionettes, and just place around the enemies, the characters, the dialogue. Right now we're still in building mode where we are creating the core of the game. We're almost done. I mean, we're probably halfway right into this particular 2D RPG series. We've made about half of our small game. Now we're gonna make the underworld, then we're gonna make the the world map, you know, the overworld. Then we're gonna basically have an ecosystem of an overworld, city, underground cave. We can, if people like the series, we can add to it from there. Otherwise, we basically have a game, maybe in another 12 episode. I'm just guesstimating here. Maybe 25 episode the series, maybe 30. So whatever. So now I just paint a ground layer because, like I said, if we want to teleport into this scene, we needed to have a scene in the first place. So now we imported all the tile maps in advance. We did all the boring work. So now this is time to get into painting. You can go nuts and paint like a masterpiece if you want. Otherwise, me, like I said, I'm gonna paint something that is sufficient to be able to call this a cavern. And then when we add NPCs and stuff in it, then we will try hard to decorate it better. For now, this would be a waste of time to work on the finer details when we don't even have placed objects and stuff. So now basically my French counterpart is gonna do, I think it's a 8-minute painting montage with the speed at 3.5 times, 3.75 I think, whatever, so 3 or 4 times the speed. The sound is off. I don't say a single word because the speed is accelerated during the small montage, short montage. But I did put optional music track of me playing bass guitar on top. So if you don't, there will not be a single information that is said with words during that montage. So if you dislike the music, you can just turn the sound off. In the timestamp, you can go at the end of the montage. Otherwise, but then the episode continue, guys. We will continue straight after the montage. So thank you, and paint good stuff. Paint something good. You can share what you paint on Discord. Obviously, nobody has so far shared like, oh, this is what I did. But I guess this is normal with a new channel. This will come over time, I assume. Unless you're all very, very shy, that's fine too. But if you want, the door is open. You can share what you've did. Otherwise, now my French counterpart is gonna do the paint and montage for like 8 minutes, like I said, and then we will continue on with making the floor trap and everything that is very nice. So thank you guys for your patience, and I'll see you after the montage. So, the montage is over. Welcome back. I hope this was not too painful for your ears or that you turned the sound off. Otherwise, I painted this cavern, you know. If you jump right to the end, it's okay. This was only for people that don't know how to paint, you know. So we're gonna make it prettier later. For now, we wanted to have space. We're gonna fall into the hole. I want us to fall about where I put the player start right now. But in order to put a teleport, we needed a room, you know. But let's go around layer-wise what I did. So ground layer makes the whole thing. Then I made the bridges ground layer 2 because I want you to walk on them. So if you look the solid layer, the pits, I made you able to walk on what looks like a bridge. And I put a whole layer so we can go into the other cave. But this one is crushed. You cannot go into the entrance. And solid layer 2 I used only for the pillars like that because it was missing otherwise with the blackness of the color. And for ground layer I put it on the back here so that you can walk, but I put a solid layer also in the middle. And here for the hallway you can I put some foreground to give impression that you go inside. So this is what I did. I invite you to do something similar. This will be good enough for us to get started. Right now I'm showing you look all the nice stuff that we can decorate, but I'm not decorating before I even know where the rocks, the NPC and everything is going to be, the monsters. So me, when I paint a scene, I start like what I did now, by making something like laying in the architecture of the place. Like there's going to be walls there, a building there, pits there, there's going to be this and that. So it leaves room for us not to impede our imagination when it comes to filling that room in the next episode. And then we decorate to accentuate whatever we will have put there. But what we need to do before we can teleport into this grotto, this cavern, is to add this new scene to the build settings. And now I notice, oh, Me, I did not add the 2 previous scenes in the build setting because I did the guide for you in episode 12 in a new kit, because I had to do it twice because I was the first batch of people doing it, so I had to troubleshoot. So right now I'm going real fast into the other scenes and I'm adding them. So if you forgot as well to do this, you need to add the scenes into the thing named build settings, otherwise you cannot teleport from a scene to another. So now the 3 scenes we made in this tutorial video kit, the cavern, the city, and this sci-fi house, are all into my build settings. So from here on, we will be able to put a teleport that will lead into the cavern. The teleport obviously is not going to be a normal teleport, as in I don't want I don't want to paint a big hole and whatever. No, we're gonna put a metal decorum on the floor structure, and we're gonna put some metal grills. Not sure the name. I think it's whatever. You know, the thing on top of sewer holes, hatches. Whatever. You'll see and you will understand. The image will make up for my lack of English vocabulary. Okay. While I'm bilingual, I don't have that much vocabulary, so I struggle when I search a word that I know in French, but I don't immediately know in English. If I read it, I'll be, oh yeah, that's that word. But to make it appear in my head from scratch, sometimes it's just a blank page, and I don't want you to suffer my blank page, so I just ramble like I do now when I search a word. Whatever. So my French counterpart is going over the fact in painful details that this tile map does not really have a tile that looks like a hole. But remember, a few episodes back I showed you the same person that does Free AntiHero and Free Crow also does this tile set, and the color palette, it's so close to the interior house that we have now. But I look at this as a structure with a hole. I see the metal grid things and all the little tiles that look like exactly what we need to make this floor trap. So I invite you guys, description and the link below as always, to download this tile sheet. Once you downloaded it, I created a folder. I just named it sci-fi, you know, because who cares. This one is also a 32 by 32. I know that it looks 16, but just like the other one, it's a 32. You need to put it 32, otherwise you will have a brush size. So please guys, follow instruction 32, slice it, apply, and the pixel per unit, and the inspector was also 32. So now I'm just being like, what am I gonna put in the middle? Then I notice, oh, there's metal plates and stuff. This free tile set complements the other free tile set and does exactly what we want. I think this is great for the free guide, so we can have something that looks that matches. So right now I think that the French part of me, oh no, not now not this will come later, sorry, because I don't have subtitles for some reason. Usually I do the video in French, I upload it, then YouTube put subtitles, then I can watch the YouTube video with sound off and I just read the subtitles to say you guys in English. But this video, I must say too much I must speak too fast and too much Anglicism, and it just says subtitles not available. So now I'm totally guessing what this whatever. So we sliced the tile sheet in 32. We created the new palette. We put it in it. So now this is where we are. I look like, yeah, this is like a 3 by 3. This is this respects the same grid size, and while this is not exactly the same size, the mixel undesired effect is not very visible because the tiles match so well together that it's okay, guys. Me, I'm gonna totally go with this. So now I select I think I'm gonna, oh no, I show you the ground before, because maybe you guys did not do that. Maybe you guys are still you guys are probably with your own map. So I'm showing you, look at my map. I put a door here. I believe me, it's solid. Just that when you open it by talking to NPC, it becomes non-solid, and then I show you that I made the hallway because I want to force the player to walk on the tile that's gonna break and make him fall into the cavern. So I don't bother decorating to the left and right for now. This is not important. When I develop, I do it in a certain order, the order of what are you gonna play through, and then the rooms on the sides, either we use them later or we just don't use them and we hide them or whatever. But for now, this is not important at all. What is important is that you make a solid hallway like this so that you force the player to walk into the trap. So now I'm gonna choose this one because it's slightly prettier. I'm just looking like where I'm gonna place them. I chose a ground layer 2 just because it's not important at the end of the day because the slots are full, the tiles are full 16 by 16. So I could have used the ground layer 1, but I chose ground layer 2 for unexplicable reason. But whatever, it's not important. It works too. So now you see I placed this. Now you see all the holes in the middle. This is where we're gonna put appearance of metal grids, or the one with the yellow and gray lines. We're gonna decorate all those little slots. So you see I start with just this, but then I will add different types. Right now I'm just like looking, okay, I'm just trying to figure out like why is this like the middle. It's just like the it's okay, it's not important, guys. So you just paint ground layer 1 or 2, whatever that you want. Just end up having a hallway with appearance like that. I'm gonna let the French counterpart work a bit because I don't have much to say while he's painting. Just look, okay? Won't be long. Yeah, that's boring, eh? I'm gonna speak anyway. So right here he's struggling. I'm just wasting time because I made the terrible decision of using ground layer 2 when it was not necessary. But I did not want to speak about that because it's not important. It's not important. You can make it all in ground layer 1. French me is just wasting time at like 1 a.m. at this point. It's okay. So we'll get there, guys. Just be patient as I paint this stupid thing, and once it's done painting, then we'll make the actual mechanics to fall into the hole and stuff. So now I'm looking like, I'm not satisfied with the pattern. I'm gonna just end what I started and make it all the way unified. So yeah, I think there's only one left to go. He's gonna be happy. Now I'm looking like I'm tired of seeing those red squares. I'm just gonna delete the ground layer 2. I'm gonna repaint it in ground layer 1. But like I said, this is not necessary. It's just me going nuts at 1 a.m. It's okay. Sorry if I'm not entertaining currently. I hate doing voiceovers because without dubs, this is terrible. But you guys need to learn how to do the trap that will lead into the cavern. So you have to be patient a few more minutes as I paint this. There are timestamps in the video anyway, so if you want to just see me install the thing, you can jump after I'm done painting. So now you see we're getting closer. Now I decide, you know what, there's enough metal in this, there's enough plain metal. I'm just gonna alternate the yellow and the metal grids. So now I think we're finally there, guys. I'm truly satisfied now that this is good enough. We're going to choose one of them. But now I'm trying to figure out like where I'm gonna put the hole. At the middle? Is it gonna be at the start? Is it gonna be at the end? So I've got this big brain game dev decision going on right now. I'm gonna end up choosing, you know what? I want suspense to build up. I want there to be like, oh, and literally at the last possible time that you can fall, when you see the bottom of the door, when you see like, oh, this is it, at long last, we are out of this thing, we're done. But no, you're gonna fall into a hole. You have a whole other section of the game to go through before you can even attempt to come back, and that stupid hole, I need to go past it. So yeah, I go on the layer here, I delete Grand Layer 2 there because I don't care. But now I want a pitch black hole, so I go into our caverns thing that we just got. There are black holes elsewhere, but they're very black into this tile sheet, so I put it there. This is going to be pitch black to represent the hole that we fall into. So this had to be painted because this blackness is permanent. Now that this blackness is permanent, we will take object, but don't drag it on the color like that, it's so confusing. So now I'm deleting, I'm selecting this tool, I'm scrolling back, I'm gonna drag it to where there's nothing, it's less confusing. So now you see the PNG, you see that it's a normal item, you'll need to align it, but we start by putting it on a player layer. Then you remember the door, when we leave it at player like that without touching anything, the door was showing on top of the head. So now that we learned we won't waste time, we put it at player -1 straight away. So as soon as we step on it, it's going to be under our feet and it's going to disappear anyway and fall, and we're going to add a sound effect that falls and stuff. So now I just move this on the grid to make this at the perfect position. I'm just testing plus 0.5 or minus 0.5, then oops, it's minus for this one. Bam. So now this is placed perfectly at the right place. So I'm gonna resume what we did in this sci-fi interior cyber house thing. If you guys did not have a hallway, you needed to make one to follow along. Otherwise, you make an hallway. We painted the floor so that you have some kind of something going on and some suspense, like, oh my god, there's squares everywhere, one of them has to do something. It has to be one of the yellow things, right? One of the yellow things will do something. But no, the last grid will make you fall. We can add later jokes and stuff and text, and we can, but that's a job for later. For now, we just want a functioning hallway with a functioning floor trap. This is the order that we build things, guys. Like, I don't want people to look, let's say, the first episode and say, oh, this scene is crap. Like, yeah, sure, it's the first time that we make this scene. Let us come back to it a few more times and add stuff. Don't judge the product until it's done. That's what's going to be great when I get into, like, let's say the family 20-something of episode, when we're going to get near the end. Gonna have something to show off for it, so I'm gonna be able to make an episode like let's have my son play the game so far, and you're gonna see like, oh, now this feels like a game, you know, you're gonna see where I'm getting at and stuff. So whatever. So now my French counterpart at this point in his head was like, you know what, this episode is so freaking long, this is outrageous, I need to stop this and to continue the next episode. But then in my head I'm like, yeah, but then next episode we're gonna have to waste so much time doing this floor trap thing, and I want the next episode to be 100% happening into the cavern. I know this episode we had to paint part of the cavern, so this episode is a bit all over the place, but there's no getting around it. How do you want to teleport into a cavern if the cavern don't exist? So we needed to create the base cavern, create the hallway, create the floor trap and everything. So now at this point in time in the video, we've just we only need to put the logic on the tile set object, which is the floor trap, in order to make it I want it to disappear, to proc a teleport, and to make a sound, a rem fall sound. So right now my French counterpart is saying, oh, we're gonna do that tomorrow, but don't worry, guys. A few seconds or minutes later, I'm like, you know what, no, I want the next episode to be cavern only, so let's do this right now. Bam. Welcome to fake episode 14. I'm glad you're here. I'm joking. So basically now we're gonna just do this to get it out of the way in the same episode. This way the next episode will be completely in the cavern, and it will be better for everyone. It will be more interesting, it will be less confusing and everything. So now I need to make a teleport. So to make a teleport, I need to know what the name of the scene I want to teleport to. So right now I'm searching, like, oh, I named it New Caverns for some reason. I did not even remember I named it like that. So I copy the name. So now here I can go into the 2D RPG kit objects and just spawn a teleport. The teleport is gonna spawn somewhere near the camera, so I take him, I put him approximately there. The point of return, I don't care for it for now, but I'm gonna put it on the other side just for, it doesn't matter. This is what matters. This is the thing that when you step on it, you're gonna be teleported. So the player is too wide to be able to to not step on the middle plate. Actually, he can avoid it, so I'm gonna make it more large. Yeah, that's what I mean. And what I mean is he's too wide to go the space that remains now. You know, he's not gonna transform into a mouse. So basically, by making the teleport this size, the player will be absolutely forced to trigger it upon touching it. So we name it, not we name it, but we say what scene it leads to. So I put a new caverns. Then we name it. So I name it all with a capital H, just because it's simple. But now we're gonna disable it. Right here in the inspector, you remove the check, because if we let it activated, it's gonna teleport us before we even destroy the floor grid. So no, we want the floor grid to later activate that. So we save the scene, because we're gonna change scene to put the other end of the teleport. So right now I'm copy pasting the name of the current scene I'm in, which is interior cyber house. Then I go into the new cavern. I just like, where is my scene? There it is. Then I create the teleporter on this side. So on this side it's the opposite. The part that you step on it, I don't want it, because I don't want you to get out of here right now. I just want you to fall exactly where I put my player start, just not to confuse anything, neither me or you. So when you fall into the hole, you will fall straight there. But now we need to name what scene it comes from or leads to. So we name it the same way on the other side, all with a capital H, but we put the proper scene. Then we save. Basically, we are done with the teleport for this part. Now what we need to do is all the triggers and stuff, and I invite you to pay very close attention to details. I will visually do stuff while I do say in real time in French what I'm doing. In English, you really need to pay attention visually, because so right now French me is going over, is just saying what we did, saying like, okay, so we put the tile on the floor, we put it at player -1, we created the teleport, but now what we want is this tile set. We want this tile set to do something when we step on it. So first it needs a collider to detect the player. So you enter a box collider 2D with the add component button, but then you check the is trigger, because you don't want this collider to block you from moving. You want this collider to simply be a trigger, to trigger an event when the player touches it. So I place it about the same size as the teleporter, because it's the same principle, that the player will not be able to avoid it whatsoever as soon as he touches it, or like as his chest touches it, because his head is no collision. As soon as his shoulder touches it, he's gonna make the trap fall. Yeah, now that I place the collider this way, we'll be able to put a consequence of triggering all that. So right now I want to show you what's happening, but my own camera is hiding the thing, so I will have to move it away shortly. Won't be long, guys, so that you can see what I'm doing right now. What I'm doing right now is I'm adding another component. The component is named, we'll see it shortly. In a few seconds I move the camera away so we can see it. It's named trigger enter event. So when you click on the add component button, you will choose the enter trigger event, and then in the enter trigger event you will have fields for untrigger what happened and unexit what happened. So right now I'm finally moving the screen so you guys can see. So you want to take the tile set, that is actually the metal grid, that is an object from the hierarchy, and drop it into the little hole below runtime. So this will make when you step on a trigger, it will do something to this tile sheet. And now we select what we want this tile sheet to this object that looks like a metal sprite. And now we tell him what to do. But this is not the one. You need to simply choose the bool game object bool set active. Yeah, the last one there. And set active actually it's gonna make it disactive, because since it's active by default, it's gonna deactivate it. So when it deactivates it, it's gonna go invisible like this. So basically it's gonna give the illusion that this is now a all, and you will hear the sound and the teleport will zone you. So basically for all intents and purpose, this is a all illusion of all. So now we put a second thing, and the second thing will be to activate the teleport, because we want the metal grid to fall, to disappear, but then we want to activate the teleport. So the same thing, game object set active, but now we check it because it's by default not active, and we want to activate it. So it's important that you understand the concept of those little checkboxes. I think that 1 second is too short for me to properly play a sound, so I put transition time on the teleporter to 2 seconds. You just change the value. And the next thing we're gonna have to do is to put the sound effect here on the untrigger, the teleport effect when you enter it. But as of right now, as we speak, you guys do not currently have an audio sound. So now I'm realizing as I speak in French, like, oh, you know what, I need to show you guys how to add a sound to the game. So either you go on like Google and you write a Pixabay free falling sound effect, you download it, or you make your own sound. But either way, if you download sounds, you will end up needing to learn how to edit them, how to cut them shorter and whatever. So there's no getting around it. So unless you already know that, this is a small Audacity tutorial that will teach you how to make a REM fall sound and then how to put it in the game. So here we go. You go on Google, you type Audacity official website download. I say that because you don't want to fall on one of the hundreds of bullshit websites that just distribute it, but they're not the official website, so they want to distribute a lot of other things that you don't want with it. So you go on the real official site, like you should for everything in life. Then you go download for Windows, because I assume if you have the Tool RPG kit, you're in Windows. Don't click on the Audacity installer. This is all bullshit I was speaking of. Everyone is guilty of that. Everyone wants you in their ecosystem. Nobody wants to be part of anyone's ecosystem. So what you want is to download it without any assistance. So now I'm looking the path. It says current version 3.6.4. So I'm just gonna check my own Audacity, and then I notice if you guys is in English, gonna be help about Unity. It's like, okay, so I'm making you guys download the exact same version. There is not gonna be a single oh, your interface is not like mine. No, this is the same. But like I said, don't click Audacity installer. This is not what you want. What you want is a normal installer. 64-bit installer, 64-bit. Sometimes I say number in French by a bit. I'm sorry. Sometimes I say 3 instead of 3. I say 8 instead of 8, and you guys must be like, what is he talking about? I'm sorry, it's hard to speak an hour straight into a different language about a technical subject when you only learn the French counterpart of the words. So I need to ad-lib. So once you install Audacity, before you start recording, you will want to select your proper audio devices. So me, périphérique d'enregistrement should be recording devices or recording peripherals. My microphone is plugged in the 1-2 Motu thingy, so this is the one I must have selected before I press the record button. Test your own mic and stuff to make your own sound. So right now, since my mic works, I just pressed record. I made a little REM is falling sound. That sounds terrible, but in a way in English you don't even hear it because I make it in French, but it's not important. What's important is that you know how to make a sound with your microphone, how to record it for free with Audacity, and then I'll show you how to put it in the 2D RPG kit for you to use on the floor trap when you fall. And the same way to add any other sound in game, you know. So this is like we needed to cover audio at some point, and apparently since I want to put audio in a trap, this is it, boys and girls. So now that you save the sound, you can you can save the project if you want to edit it later. But me, it was just like the lamest short sound possible. I'm not gonna save any of that, but I'm gonna show you how to export. So you click on export audio. It will name your file. I'm just gonna name it like REM files. It asks you where you wanna put it. Me, I just leave it in my YouTube tutorial series because it's convenient for me, because all I do right now is for that. Then but it's stereo. Why not? Stereo, then export. So the sound file will now have appeared wherever you had told them to into the choices. Me, I don't save the project, like I said, because this has a 2-second sound. Why would I save this? This is pointless. So now I go into the audio folder, and I will be able to drag the sound there and to integrate it properly in the audio manager. Technically, you don't even need to really integrate through the audio manager a sound that you will only use one time like that. But I still want to show you guys the proper way to make things, not for you to gain bad habits, because sometimes we gain bad habits by imitating people that take shortcut, but we don't understand why they take a shortcut, so we think the shortcut is the normal way. But then later in life we realize, oh my god, all along I was doing a shortcutting thing and not a proper way thing. I'm just telling you the proper way to do it. So when you click on the sound after drag and dropping it on the folder, you will see there's some stuff written on it. But from this point, it's not very important. Like if it was a big song or something, you could put preload audio data to maybe save a few frames. Otherwise, there's nothing much important at this stage. It's very the next part that there will be important option boxes to consider, but I will go over them my best. So once my French counterpart is done telling you basically what I just said, he's gonna go into the audio manager. So main object loader, audio manager. Here in the audio manager, you see it's already categorized at BGM, so battleground music or background music, and the SFX or sound effects or sounds that you hear in a while. You see the sounds that exist, like open, close, collect, recover, item, menu. So right now we are telling the game that REM file is now wants to be part of the game, like a repeatable sound effect. So usually for just a one-time effect you would not care to do this, but I'm showing you the right way, like I said. So you would create an audio source into as a child of the sound effects. You name it, like I named it REM files because this is what it's going to be. Then when you click on it, you see on the right, now there's starting to be some action going on. Here's the play on awake. At this particular part, you do not want to check this, because in this list, all the things that are play on awake will play when you run the game. So you press play on the title screen, you will hear the guy falling. That's nonsense. So at this place, you must absolutely remove the play on awake. If this was like a song or something, you could put loop if you wanted to loop. But for this one-time sound effect, you do it like I do now. Remove the sound on effect. But then you can drag and drop into the audio clip field. So now the audio source object that we put in the list of the sound effects of the audio manager, we put an audio clip in it from that we created in Audacity. From here on, we go back into the audio thingy where I created a new slot, and I can drag it there. So now REM file sound that I recorded is officially the element number 11 of the 2D RPG kit. So it will be usable through element assignation if I wanted to. But I'm not going to do that right now, like I said, because it's a one-time trap. So so now we're back at the point where we need to go on the teleport, and we need to add something that happens when the teleport is activated. And that thing that happens is going to be playing the sound. So we're going to click on plus, and then runtime on teleport. What do you want to happen? what I want to happen is just the sound that's right there, just the simple sound. I'm sure you, like, if you wanted to go into the into the audio manager, you're not even gonna be able to drag the thing because it overwrites what you see. So what happens in that case is this is not a type of audio that you reference with an element. This is a one-time use thing. So now I'm making a funny face to say like, oh, my brain is slowly catching up to the fact that this is too complicated. We're just gonna put the sound right there. But this is good because I showed you how to integrate it properly. But now I show you also that you can just put the sound right there. It's just that, whatever. So, please drag and drop there so I can move on. Please, you can do it. You can do it. Okay. Okay, apparently, no, I go this way. Sorry, I did not remember. The voiceover lag. So you do add component, add audio source, then in the audio source you put the audio clip rem files, and then you drag and drop the audio source into the runtime field of the teleport. I know it sounds complicated. It's just me or Raleigh that time I was confused. Just follow visually, and since the no, that's not right. 1 second. Yes, the play on awake at this particular place, I leave it on because the way I've done this now is the sound is gonna play once. It's the audio source. I mean, the audio source is gonna be awakened as with the teleport, and as it awakens, it's gonna play its sound once. So just doing that, audio source, play on awake, rem files, dragging it, game set active. Just doing that, it will work. But now, sadly, in the English part, you guys don't have sound, but I assure you that the French counterpart just heard the falling sound and is very satisfied. So you can just click on the French video and jump to the 54-minute something mark, and you will hear the falling sound yourself. So now this is a perfect place to conclude this episode, because now in the next episode, Rem needs to find a way to get out of the cave. I think he's gonna need to find some friends, guys. The next episode will be very nice. We will add a party member and stuff to do in the cave. So I see you guys in the next episode. Thank you very much. So hi everyone, thank you very much for staying until the end of the video. I like to take this time to ask you to please go on Steam and wishlist my game. Also, you can go on Twitch to see me doing some live development occasionally. If you're a super Chad or super Chadette, you can do additional support on Patreon. Otherwise, please like and subscribe. Those are really what I'm looking after, because I need to reach 500 subscribers to even be able to get some sort of income from YouTube. Until then, I'm doing this all for free. So thank you for subscribing very much.